Nebraska women have a knack for nagging that's as relentless as a Cornhusker windstorm, and their husbands are feeling the heat. From the plains to the Platte River, these gals have perfected the art of driving their men up the wall with complaints so uniquely Nebraskan, they make a tornado spin the other way. Here's the top 10 list of what these ladies nag about, complete with real-life tales of spousal squabbles and the wild reactions they sparked. Number 10. Not salting the sidewalks enough before a snowstorm. The nag, Linda from Lincoln, caught her husband, Tom, sprinkling salt like it was fairy dust instead of a blizzard defense. You call that salting? The driveway's gonna be an ice rink by morning. The breaking point, after 20 minutes of her hovering with a shovel, Tom lost it. He grabbed the salt bag, dumped the whole thing on the sidewalk, and yelled, "There! Now it's the Dead Sea." He then stormed off to the garage and built a snow fort to hide in for the night. Number 9. Forgetting to check the cornhole boards for splinters. The nag, Deb in Grand Island, nagged Dave non-stop before their backyard barbecue. "You didn't sand those boards again, did you? Someone's gonna get a splinter and sue us." The breaking point, fed up, Dave hauled the cornhole set to the driveway, sanded it down with a power tool in front of the neighbors, and shouted, "Happy now? It's smoother than a baby's butt." He then refused to play, sitting in a lawn chair sipping beer in silent protest. Number 8. Leaving the tractor running too long. The nag, Sue from Scottsbluff, hounded Jim every time he tinkered with the John Deere. "Why's that thing still rumbling? You're wasting gas and waking up the cows." The breaking point, Jim revved the engine louder, drove it in circles around the yard, and hollered, "Fine, I'll wake the whole county." He parked it in the barn and took a 3-hour nap in the cab just to spite her. Number 7. Not wearing enough Husker gear on game day. The nag, Patty in Omaha, glared at Mike's plain sweatshirt on a Saturday. "Where's your red? You're embarrassing me in front of the tailgate crew." The breaking point, Mike snapped, ran to the closet, and emerged decked head to toe in Husker gear, hat, scarf, socks, even face paint. He danced around the living room chanting, "Go Big Red," until Patty begged him to stop. Number 6. Failing to stock up on runza before they sell out. The nag, Karen in Kearney, harped on Bill every Friday. "You didn't get the runzas again. They're gone by noon, and now we're stuck with leftovers." The breaking point, Bill drove to Runza at dawn, bought 20 sandwiches, and piled them on the kitchen table. "There's your precious runzas," he barked, then ate 6 in one sitting to prove a point, groaning through the indigestion. Number 5. Letting the windmill creak without oiling it. The nag, Nancy from Norfolk, wouldn't let up on Ed, "That windmill's squeaking like a rusty gate, fix it before I lose my mind." The breaking point, Ed climbed the windmill at midnight with a can of WD-40, oiled it until it spun silently, then slid down yelling, "Quiet enough for ya?" He slept in the barn with the cows to avoid further critique. Number 4. Not picking enough sweet corn from the field. The nag, Janet in Fremont, nagged Steve after every harvest. "You left half the good ears out there, go back and get 'em before the deer do." The breaking point, Steve marched to the field, picked every ear he could carry, and dumped them in the living room. "Here's your corn," he roared, then fled to the bar to watch football in peace. Number 3. Forgetting to wave at every passing pickup truck. The nag, Carol in Columbus, scolded Ron daily. "You didn't wave at that guy. What's wrong with you? This is Nebraska." The breaking point, Ron stood on the porch for an hour, waving at every vehicle like a deranged traffic cop, shouting, "Happy now, Carol?" He then waved at the mailman so hard he sprained his wrist and blamed her for it. Number 2. Not scraping the mud off boots before coming inside. The nag, Barb and Beatrice, hovered over Chuck every evening. "You're tracking mud again. Those boots are filthier than a pig pen." The breaking point, Chuck hosed off his boots in the yard, then hosed himself down too, stomping inside soaking wet. "Clean enough," he grumbled, dripping all over the kitchen floor before locking himself in the bathroom. Number 1. Buying the wrong brand of Kool-Aid. It's gotta be cherry. The nag, Ellen in Hastings, raged at Fred over his grocery slip-up. Grape Kool-Aid? Are you kidding me? Cherry's the only real Nebraska flavor. The breaking point, Fred drove back to the store, bought every cherry Kool-Aid packet they had, mixed a gallon in a bucket, and chugged it in the driveway. Cherry enough for ya? He belched, then passed out on the lawn from the sugar rush. These Nebraska women may nag with the best of intentions, but their husbands' over-the-top reactions prove there's a fine line between love and losing it. From snow forts to Kool-Aid comas, these fellas are finding creative ways to say, enough already. At least until the next nag comes along.